Hey guys, today I'm going to be going over how to use gizmos in vanilla. This is going to be a quick tutorial. I'm just going to, go through it. I'm not going to, hold you. Let's go. Okay guys, the first thing we want to do is we want to pull out our maker pen. We can either pull out our menu, go to backpack, and on this right side right here, you can click use. Or you can favorite it and grab it from behind your shoulder. Either one will work. We want to open our palette, go to gadgets, and go to gizmos, and right here we have all the gizmos that we're going to go over today. You want to pick whatever one you want. We're going to start off with the rotator, which I have all the way over here. We have all of these right here. We go to the rotator and we're end off with the animation chip. Let's get our animation gizmo, or not animation gizmo, my rotator gizmo. We're going to look on the right here. As you can see, we have two pins, this red pin and this green pin. Now if you saw in my last video, we talked about bulls. That's exactly what red pins are. It says on/off. 1 would be true, 0 would be false. So 1 would be on, 0 would be off. As you see, this thing is not rotating as still. It's because this little red pin is set to 0. So if we configure this, it's not going to do anything until we change the speed. But now it's on, essentially. If we configure this green pin right here, these are integers, which are whole numbers. You can pick whatever number you want for the speed. We're gonna go with 4. Now let's drop our maker pen, pick it up again. As you can see, this rotator is rotating around. If we just configure this boolean pin, turn it to 0, turn it to false, it just stops moving. Now, what you can do with this gizmo is you can... Oop. Did not mean to do that. Good lord. Alright. Let's find an object that we can use for the rotator. I say we just create something. We'll make a little cube. But you can use whatever you want. Let's just make a little cube right here. Go to our wire tool. And we're going to connect this little top, gold, tan, whatever you want to call it, piece to right here. As you can see, it's a little red line. It's connected. Now let's configure our boolean port. Click 1 so we turn it on. And now, as you can see, since it's connected, it's going to rotate this cube. And you can just, mess around with it, increase this little integer right here to make it go. We want to go really fast. Let's go like that. See, now it's moving faster. That's essentially what you can use with the rotator tool. You can use it for whatever you want. Really simple, really easy. The next gizmo we're going to look at is the look at gizmo. Now, essentially what this gizmo does is it will look at whatever object or player it's supposed to look at, depending on, what it's configured to. If it's configured to an object, it will look at an object with a specific tag. And if it's set to a player, it will look at the player with a specific role. So I'm going to show you what that does in a second, but first we're going to take a look off to the side. As you can see, this is a boolean that has on and off. All we have to do, configure, turn this to 1 or turn it to true. And now it's powered on. So what we're going to do is we're going to configure this. Make sure it's on object because that's the first thing we're going to demonstrate. Tag to follow. And we're going to put whatever tag we are going to want. So let's just say we're going to use the letter K. Click OK. Make sure it's on object. We're going to add some smoothing to it. That way it's less sharp and it smoothly turns to the object. We're going to do average, not the closest, You could do closest, but we're only using one object, so there's no need. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an object that is going to be what looks at something. So what we're going to do, let's just make a little cube. And we're going to put a little camera, I guess you could say. I don't know. Put a little white. Oh, good lord. I was meant to recolor that, but I guess it doesn't matter. What we're going to do is we're going to hook up this object right here to the little pin. As you can see, there's a little pin right here, a little tan gold pin. We're going to connect it so it's connected. We're going to create, well, I guess we'll use the white then. This will be the object that is going to be looked at. Okay, this is the object that this look at gizmo is going to follow. So let's configure this. Hold on. Now we're gonna configure it. We're gonna edit tags, and we're gonna add that same tag to it. Okay. So as you can see, the look at gizmo, since it's powered on and it's set to look at any tag that has K, it will, it'll follow it with a smoothing to it. If we turn down the smoothing, bring it to 1, it's less smooth. It's more instant, more sharp. That's how you do it. Now let's say you wanted to make the look at gizmo look at players instead of objects. What we're going to do, and this is a new one, I deleted the old one, so what we're going to do is going to power this on, configure it, and we're going to set it to player. Okay? We're going to add a little bit more smoothing to it. You can understand how that is. Now this is a new thing we have. Since it's a player, it's going to let you choose between head, hands, left hand, or right hand as your tracking target. It's exactly what you think. If it was to track a player based off its left hand, it will look straight at its left hand. However, we're gonna do head so it can, look directly at me and, be a little more easier to know. There's not more people in here. There's only one person, so we're just gonna keep it on average. Now, what we're going to do, open our palette, and we're going to go to the search the palette, look for a wool chip. Gosh, my game is lagging. Alright, wool chip. And we're going to configure it. We'll call it, see, wool name. We'll call it, we'll just say me. So it's gonna look at me, right? You can edit whatever you want, but we're not doing that right now. We're gonna go back to this. Now this will pop up player roles, since we have a role now. We're gonna click on it. So now this will just be set to look at anyone with the player role of, me. Or whatever role you want. Now we're going to give ourselves the role. I'm just gonna use a button. Doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want to give yourself the role, but this is just how I'm gonna do it. We're gonna switch up role, and we're gonna do role mapper chip. I hate buttons. I hate how they're like that. We could freeze it though. But for now, just wire it to when button is pressed to the player, and configure this. Click add role, player role, and we're gonna click it so it does that role. And now I have the role, and as you can see, it's now starting to look at me. And you could just, again, you can just hook up an object to it, whatever you want. You can do a little wedge, and just wire this little wedge to the guy, and now the wedge is looking at me. So that's how you look at, or use the look at gizmo. Pretty simple. If you're going to make it look at a player, you're going to use roles. If you're going to make it look at an object, you're going to configure the object and add tags to it. It's pretty simple. Okay, the next one we have is the clamp. This one is pretty cool. What you can do is you can combine two objects to become one object in a way, if that makes sense. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to our, let's just find what object we want. Bottle. Let's just do bottle of water. That'll be our first object. And we want to combine our bottle of water with a cube. This little stick, I guess. I don't know. So let's say we want to use these two objects. Now, essentially, whatever you want to be the handle of your entire object is what you're going to connect to this bottom piece. So if you go to wire, you can connect this piece to whatever you want. And then this top piece will also be connected to the other object. So let's do this. We're going to, let's make the handle be the little stick thing we made, or I made. We're gonna wire our, our base, our handle of the gizmo to the handle of what we want. And then the top, I'm gonna wire that to the other piece. So now it's connected together. It has one unique thing. And what you can do, figure this, release clamp, and yeah, or release it. It's pretty simple. You don't have to think about this one too hard. Just combine whatever you want the handle to be to that handle piece. The other object would be the top piece, this top little pin. It's pretty simple. Alright, our next gizmo we're going to use is the piston. Now this gizmo essentially can just make things move in a direction as long as it's or whatever direction the green arrow is pointing to. So if we essentially, let's just do rotate. Let's rotate it this way. Whatever's hooked up and turned on, it will move that item in this direction. So we're gonna get an item here. We're gonna get, let's mix it up a bit. Let's do a little spear. Good enough. We're gonna wire it to the top pin so it's connected. And as you can see, just like the rotator, we have a integer pin and a boolean pin for off and on and the speed. We're gonna make our speed, let's just make it 3. And then just because why not, we're gonna delete this wall because we want to see our object. So when we configure this little red pin right here, our little boolean, make it true, it will slowly but surely move, but we want to turn the speed up. So let's turn it up to 10. As you can see, it's moving slowly, and we can configure it. Let's make it 30. And now it's moving even faster. You really just gotta adjust the speed to however you want it to be, depending on whatever you're gonna make. If you wanted to make it fast, we just configure this thing to like 100. Yeah, now it's moving pretty fast. And now it's gone to the ends. It's done. Essentially, that's how it works. Now we're going to show you a little something on how you can do it to where you can press something and it can, make an object go, you don't have to configure it essentially. Oh, God. Before we move on, I made a little thing just so you can show you even more if you need it. We have here a toggle button. And as you can see, we wired it to this middle green pin. This is current toggle value. Currently it's set to false because the button is not being pressed. And we have it set to false as well because it's not on. So let's do this. If you press it, it's going to go up because the value, as you can see, is 1, which is, oh, good God. Get back down here. There we go. As you can see, this is 0, but when I turn it on, I think it's because I'm editing it, yeah. It turns to 1. Just a little thing I could show you in case you need it. Now the next gizmo we're going to use, our last gizmo, is going to be the animation gizmo. Now, essentially, what this gizmo does is you can hook up whatever you want to it and create custom-made animations just with this gizmo. So, what I'm going to do is I've been using shapes. You can use props as well. It doesn't really matter. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to use a cube again, just for this demonstration. So what you want to do, click wire, and you're going to wire whatever you want to the animation. We're going to wire this cube because this is what is going to be animated, and it says object added to animation. Now what you want to do is on your palette, or not your palette, your modes, you can click edit, and now it's going to pop up everything you want. This is everything related to the animation that you're making. So what you can do is you can add frames and add 2 of them. So this is how it's going to be normally. Then let's say this is our first frame. What the first thing is going to happen for the animation, we're going to click move, and we're going to move it to the left here. Now as you can see, there's these blue dots with this yellow line. Essentially, it just means the frame is going to, or the animation is going to start off here, and it's going to move to the left and end right here to this big blue dot. First big dot is where it starts. Second big blue dot is where it ends. You can also literally do wherever you want with it, but we're just going to move it to the left. Now, what we're gonna do, as you can see, it starts off from here, it moves here, and then now we're back to the next frame, and we're gonna move it up. So I'll show you what that means. It's going left, now it's going up diagonally. Now I'm gonna warn you, I'm not good at doing animations, and I'm not gonna go too much deeper into this. And I'm horrible at explaining this one. I'm not good with animation chips, animation gizmos, I just don't mess with them. I barely even touch this, but if you want a more in-depth tutorial on how to use the animation gizmo, I'd recommend going to a different video that is solely explaining this. I'm not great with it. You can adjust the... Let's stop playing that. You can remove it. You can rotate your object while it's in animation. So you can, when it's animating, it can rotate. You can, copy. You can paste. You can remove frames. You can select certain parts. You can do a lot with this. I'm not gonna go too much into this. You can configure your animation gizmo, and you can make it so that it loops, or it can go into a ping pong motion. You can stop at end, stop it at the start. You can adjust the speed percentage. That doesn't matter. And then, if you want to turn this animation on, you can configure it and turn it to 1. Turn it true, so it's on. And then it's just this weird animation we made. I'm not great at animating, but essentially it's kind of how you do it. Pretty simple.